Hi friends, this is your Python partner here. So now we are going to see the solutions for the assignment number 1, that is nested dictionaries and list. Okay, so I hope you have really given an effort to complete that, and many would have completed or many would be struggling. So whatever it is, let's just see the solutions here. Okay, yes. So this is the first question where we have to write a program to print a summary for each student in the following format. So today I'm not going to explain the nested dictionaries because I have already done that in our prayer video, right? So I hope you remember that. If not, just go and watch it once. Let's see the code which is particularly doing the stuff that we wanted it to. Okay, so that way we can keep the session simple yet very interesting. As we have to loop through each students and as well do the same task for every one of them, what is our natural choice? It is for loop, right? Yes. So we have to loop through dictionary. So we want two temporary variables. So I have given key and value, and in what we are going to search for in this dictionary. So in class data, and the first level it is 10 class A. So now what happens is we are standing at this level. So now the keys will be the names of the students and the values include all other datas of them. That is ID, age, talents and details. Okay. So this is how it happens. And we are using dot items of method. Items of method, it allows you to access both the keys and values of the dictionary at the same time, as it returns an object which act like a list of key value pairs, and each items in that list is a tuple which include a key and a value associated with it. Fine, yes. And it is iterable, so it allows us to access the values as we wish. Okay, yes. In the next line, yes, we have started the formatting thing. So using the print statement and multi-level print statement, actually using f strings, and the key is, yes, the name of the student. So first value will be Raj, and we have to reach his ID. And how we should go? Yes, we should first give the value. In value we have to search for ID. So now it will be 101, and then he is dash years old. So how we have to reach the age? Yes, in values we have to go for age. Okay, and is talented in. So there could be many talents, right? So I have already explained the join of method, and I hope you remember this. Yes. And this is the place where we have to use this join of method. Okay, so first what we want to specify is the separator, and what we wanted here is it is a comma, then dot join of. And how we have to reach the talents? Yes, now it is packed inside this value, right? So value of talents. Fine, yes. That line is completed. Again, coming to the next line. So during vacations availability. So how we have to go to this availability on vacations? Yes. We have to first go through this value. In value, we have to see the details, and in details, we have to go for availability on vacation. Fine, yes. And we'll get that yes or maybe or whatever it is. Yes, fine. And next line, we are coming to preferred contact method. And how we have to reach that? Yes, in values, first we have to go to details and preference to contact. And we'll get that value, whatever it is, SMS or email or anything like that. And that line is over. And the next line, yes, interest in competition. Yes, actually, so in values, we have to reach the details, then interest in competition. So we'll get yes, no, or maybe. Fine. So this is it. So first, we have looped through the Raj and written a format. Now the for loop will go again to the next element in that list. And the second value is, I think it is Ragesh, right? Yes. Now the same thing will happen to Ragesh, and likewise it continues till the last element. Okay? Yes. Now let's see the output. So this is it, friends, how neatly it is formatted, right? So Raj, ID 101, is 15 years old and is talented in painting and writing stories, as join method has done its wonderful work, right? Yes. And during vacation availability is yes, and preferred contact method, email, and interest in competition, very interested, and for every person it has neatly formatted. So that's it. So when we are working with multi-level print statements, the very interesting thing is it is error prone. Sometimes we may miss the double quotes or F strings or parentheses or set braces, and so be cautious. Okay, so while working with that. Okay, so let's move on to our second question. So second question is, yes, we have to create the function which accept the talent as an input, and it just going to get us the list of students with the talent. Okay, so let's see the code. Yes, so at first itself I've printed the number of talents because it would be very difficult for us to remember everything, right? So I just put that in a print statement like a list of those all talents, and now we are just going to ask the user to enter the talent for searching. Okay, so on seeing those list of talents, he'll come up with something, and it has been referred by this variable search. Okay, yes. After getting that, here we are just going to pass this search as an argument to that function named find person of. So now let's travel to that function find person of. Okay, yes. So here see this function. So definition find person of. Here talent is a parameter which now holds the value that is coming through the argument search. Okay, so for example, it could be writing stories or whatever it is. Fine, yes. So let's get inside this function. So first itself, we are converting the talent to lowercase in order to avoid further errors because Python is case sensitive. So that's fine. Yes, and then we are creating an empty list named student. And here in this for loop, what we are doing? We, like the detectives, are investigating whoever the student is with that particular talent, right? Yes, we are just looping through the entire dictionary to find that particular students with that talents. So for key value in class data 10 class A dot items of method, and now what will be the result? Like, so now key is the student name and value is the data that is id, age, all etc. Fine, yes. And then we are using the if statement. So if the talent, in how we have to reach the talents, yes, in values we have to reach the talents. Okay, so once we found that, what we have to do, yes, we are just appending that key to that list named student. So key is what? The name of the student. Fine, yes. Finally, we are just printing the student. And now let's see the output. So in output, it first given us that list of talents and entered the talent for searching. So I have searched for communication and we got only one student. It is Shyam, and I hope he is really good at communication. So that's it. So we got our output. So I hope you understand this. So let's go to our third question. So what's that? Yes. So we have to group the students by the interest of competition. So after our class data, that dictionary, we are just going to create another one dictionary with the key value pairs is very interested, not interested, and maybe. Fine, yes. And the name of the dictionary is interest. Okay, yes. And here again we have to use the for loop. So for key value in, yes, class data 10 class A dot items of method. And here in this category, the variable, it is referencing to the value. As we have to group the students by interest, the value name that we are going to search for never changes here. So in order to keep the code little bit simple, I've just included a variable name category and it is referencing to that value that we are searching for. And we have to reach that interest in competition. So how we have to go? Yes, first we have to go to the values, then to details, and in details we have to go to interest in competition. Now this category will be holding that particular value, that is interest in competition, for every iteration inside that loop. Okay. For example, if the loop first it reaches Raj, then this category will be having his interest in competition. It could be very interested or maybe whatever it is. And once when the loop goes to the next person, if it is Ragesh, then this category will be holding his interest in competition likewise. Okay, I hope you understand this. Yes. Now we are checking if category equal to very interested. If that value is very interested in sense, yes, it is going to find that category inside this dictionary named interest. So it is just going to find here. If it is very interested, yes, it is just going to append that particular key. Key is the name of that student, whoever it is, Raj, Ragesh, or whatever it is. Fine. So this is how the code works for every iteration inside this loop. Okay, so let me just explain you the structure of if elif here. If any condition turns out to be true, what happens is that particular if or elif statement will be executed and the rest of the checks will be skipped for that particular iteration. Okay, so for example, the if statement turns out to be true, that is, if the category is actually very interested in sense, this line will be executed. And then the rest of the elif conditions will not be checked for that particular iteration. Okay, the loop will go to the next value. Okay, like to the next student. Then again, Python will check this if statement. And if it turns out to be false in sense, this line will not be executed and it enters to this elif statement. Okay. And if this turns out to be true in sense, this elif will not be checked for that particular iteration of that loop. Okay, so I hope you understand this. And finally, what we do after appending all those students into their correct category. Inside that dictionary named interest, we are just printing that interest. Okay, so let's see the output. So we got in very interested, we have Raj, Sanusha and Anu, and not interested Sham and Mugund, and in maybe we got Rakesh, Tejas, Kriti, etc. etc. Okay, so we got a output here. So let's move to our final question, where we have to find the students who are available on the vacation, as well as their interest in competition need to be very high. Okay, so yes, after that class data dictionary in our file, let's see that particular loop. Okay, so yes, we are looping through that dictionary by using that for key value in class data of 10 class year dot items of. Here we got another two variables, that is interest, which is referring to the interest in competition value, and available, it is referring to the availability on vacations value. Okay, so how to reach to that particular values as we wish? Yes, through value details we have to go to interest in competition, and regarding available, yes, through that value details we have to go to availability on vacations. Fine, now we got these two values here. Okay, so now what is the condition that we have to check? We want the students with very interested as well as their availability on vacation need to be yes, right? So we have to use an if statement here. So I have used that if interest equal to very interested and available is equal to yes. So both the conditions has to be satisfied. That is, their interest in competition has to be very interested as well as their availability on vacation has to be yes. Okay. So, if that conditions are met, then we are just going to print that particular key value. Key value is yes, the name of the student. Okay. So let's see the output. So we got only two students, that is Raj and Sanusha. Okay. So that's it. We got our output. So that's it for this session today. We have completed our solutions for these 4 questions, and I hope you really had fun with this. And so friends, I'll try to come up with more assignment questions from here on. Okay, so that we can test our skills and see where we stand in this journey. So it is very important. So write programs and fall in love with programming, and don't forget to like and share this video. And as well, if you got any doubts regarding these assignments or solutions, like you can ask me in the comment section. I'll try to clear that as soon as possible. And the most important thing is, yes, join me in this journey of learning. Let's make this journey more interesting and fun-filled one. Bye-bye and take care.